Hello, good evening, good evening, good evening. It's me, Kittens, from that Eurovision site, Eurovision with a slice of life. I am joined by the lovely Daniel. Say hi, Daniel.
Hi Daniel.
And we are going to be recapping the events of Norway's Melodi Grand Prix 2025. So 15th of February, which feels like 17 years ago right now. It was just over a month ago. They held the Melodi Grand Prix. Um, and we only had 9 songs. We had no heats. We had no shenanigans to worry about this year on that front. So, Daniel, what did you think of the show itself?
Um, as somebody who has traditionally been very big, very pro Melody Grand Prix, I'm worried for future years based off that. It kind of felt like a lot of the stuff that made up Melody Grand Prix was gone. Even down to like silly little things like the voiceover guy announcing the songs. He was gone. He's one of the best things about Melody Grand Prix. The guy who goes like, Tix, ut av mörkret. What do they do with him? He's not there anymore. He was great, and they've got rid of him. And it feels like they are trying to slim things down quite a lot. But I think it shows because I think it's taking a lot of the character of the show with it, and I think it suffered for that this year.
Yeah, I felt that. I mean, I know I don't know why I'm saying this, but I kind of miss the semis. Um, I am generally a big advocate for one-shot national finals, but I felt like this didn't really get up a lot of momentum on the
No.
way to the show. Like, if you are gonna do a one-shot national final, like for example Finland, then you could do it by being basically a hype merchant for your own show. And then when it comes to the actual show, it's like, ta-da! Here is what we are presenting to you, and you're excited about it. Let's go. But
I
there
also
just
think
seemed
that
like there was not a lot of excitement to it.
the time slot that Melody Grand Prix has in being earlier in the season caters heavily towards have some heat shows because what else are we gonna watch?
Yeah,
Lithuania. I mean, I did watch Lithuania. It was good,
because
but I'd rather watch Norway.
this was literally on a Super Saturday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like this was a really busy Saturday. Because I ended up cutting in and out of it, like just to watch like bits and bobs live. Because it was a Super Saturday and there was loads of stuff going on. And I feel like it just got a bit swallowed by all of that. And if there had been a bit more hype of it beforehand, I think it would have had more people go, right, I'm gonna watch MGP. But also, I think a part of that lack of hype was the songs this year, which they were fine. In the most case, they were just fine. And just fine is not a way to run hype for a national final because if you're doing just fine, go internal. Pick the one artist you actually want. What is the point of going for just fine? And I don't think in a lot of cases that the live performances added a great deal to my opinion of This Is Fine. Apart from in literally only one case. which is the winner.
I feel like there was a case of panicking after Gotha came last, in that they wanted to play it safe but took it way too far in the other direction, where it is so middle of the road pop that who kind of cares about most of these songs? Not me. Not, and I usually care about Norwegian songs, even pop ones. There was really nothing to get excited about, I think.
Yeah.
Not to say there aren't any good songs, especially the one that won. It's perfectly fine, good song. It's not the type of song that you'll watch that will make you watch this over Estonia or Lithuania, where I think there were multiple good songs in each of those.
No, I think I was more sold on the winning song once it had been performed. Um but I do think that you're right in that there wasn't a lot to get people super excited. You had the returners, but they were kind of
I am too young to care about the returners, to be honest.
this is what I was about to say.
There
Like,
are a lot of Eurofans younger than me.
yeah, this is what I was about to say. Like, they were you can be a returner and it be great. And I felt like the both of the returners, Wigwam and Bobby Socks, there is a way to do kind of that, the same sound from their original era and make it modern. And I don't think they did that. And
I
just going for nostalgia,
I
it's only going to hit
I
a certain type
feel
of
like
person.
Bobby Socks was kind of aimed towards getting lots and lots of hype internationally. But what I think they didn't realize is, does anyone really care about Bobby Socks?
I mean,
Like
lots of people
it
do care about Bobby
they
Socks,
but
but
kind of like, what if like Albert, or even if Hoorays were in Mellow or something? I think it would be like more hype for than Bobby Socks, because Elizabeth Andreasen has been at Eurovision about 12 times. She's been in national finals about 50 times. This is not really a rare occurrence to see her back on a Eurovision national final stage. It's been done a lot of times before.
and I think the
Whereas with
song
other people, it
also
would be
has been done a
it,
lot of times before.
yeah. If
It's
you're
not to
bringing
say
back a
it's not
Eurovision winner,
good.
do something special. This was not special.
Like, it's very listenable. I think a lot of the crime, and it's not really a crime, of all these songs is they were very listenable and very radio friendly, but they weren't special.
Yeah.
Like, I probably, apart from Wigwam, which just really isn't to my general taste, I don't think I'd turn any of these off. I don't think I would also elect to put any of them on apart from probably two of them. Three of them
What
maybe at a
I
push.
think one archetype of song that was missing this year for Norway is just the weird shit.
Yep.
I think that is something Melody Grand Prix is known for better or worse, just something a bit fucking crazy. It's never the best song. They should never win. Sometimes they do, but it's just a bit of dumb fun that was just not there this year. So we just
Yeah.
had some relatively okay songs competing against each other with nothing to shake things up.
Yeah. Looking at Subwoofer and My
And
AI
just
and stuff like that,
like Trollfest.
Yeah, all of that. It felt like some of the fun had just been slapped out of this show in general. And I don't know, it just felt a bit just a bit um yeah. I mean, were there any entries that you did actually think were elevated on stage? Or were you just like, no, this is all lost?
I think Kyle Alessandro sold his performance very well. I still don't think it's a fantastic song, but it's plain and obvious why he won this show because it was by far the most complete package.
I mean, I was going to point out Ladybug. I think the staging actually did some work there. I still don't think the whole thing was a like sendable package. But the staging did some nice work there. I don't know, but I do think I was kind of middle of the road on Kyle until seeing the performance. And since I've seen him at Melfest Weekend, performing there, if anybody is gonna take this, I was just like, yeah, he's the one. Because I think there's just something to be said for somebody who can just pick it up and do it. He has got a target market. People do know him.
I don't think
Um,
we're in it, but
I mean,
he's
I
got one.
think I am now in it. I do think so because I just think that he's a very slick performer and he's doing a really good job of what he's doing, and there is a market for that. I think the bigger problem this song has is there is a lot of similar songs in this year's selection, like as a whole at Eurovision. Um, that wasn't intended to be a lead in, but we should probably discuss how we think Kyle might do at Eurovision.
Uh,
I mean, I know that they said that they want to make some changes to it to differentiate it from, in particular, Survivor by Parg.
I mean, it's
Um,
already way better than Survivor by Park.
yeah, it already is, but like the armor shtick,
If anything, they should keep it the same just to illustrate how much better this is than that pile of songs.
like Kyle is, I think, quite genuinely that this song is, if you gave this song to anybody else, it might genuinely fall flat on its ass. The thing that makes it magic is the fact that Kyle can perform it so well. And I think that just makes it 10 times better. And I wasn't sold on the studio. I was like, it's fine. And then you see him do it on stage and he's got all that charisma, and you're like, oh, okay, no, now I get it. When it comes to actually in Eurovision, we've got so many people who are similar to the shtick that he's got this year. Thinking, and I know all these songs don't sound the same, but the shtick is similar. You know, thinking of Adonis, of Theo Evan, of obviously Parg. But yeah, all of those artists, and there's probably loads I can't think of off the top of my head. Um, all of those artists competing against him, he has to work hard to pull out something unique and different that is going to be heard on the night.
I think he can do that. I think if looking at his semi now, I think he's done. I would put him in the very likely qualifier column because there is easily enough of an audience for this song. And I don't, all those, most of the people that you've pointed out there are in the other semi-final. It's only really Theo Evan, who I think is more competing with the Red Sebastians of this world, that will be in his semi-final competing for those same votes. So I think it kind of saddens me because Kyle deserves to go to the final. I don't think Norway do, which is the place I am in right now, where Kyle Alessandro, he fully deserves to go to Eurovision in the final. I really want NRK to get a kick up the arse at the same time
Yeah,
because
you
I
kind
think
of
they
want a
really
lesson to
need
be
it.
learned, don't you? I, yeah, like if they come through and do reasonably well with this at Eurovision, there is the risk that NRK are just not gonna learn a lesson.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that feels saddening a little bit. But I do want Kyle to succeed. This is
Yeah,
the thing. Like, Kyle, you are a
he
little
can,
spark of
and I'm
magic.
sure he will. Also, Adam Woods is cool as well.
Yeah, Adam Woods, you massive dork affectionate. I just yeah, I think they are a great pairing together as well. It's just it's really nice to see. Um and I think, that kind of energy is real good. I I think this will qualify, but I don't know how it's going to do in the actual final itself. I think there's a lot of competitors for what he is offering. And there
I
is a
think
chance he
every
could get
single time
drowned.
I've tried to predict the final, I'm just like, because you try and predict a full Eurovision final this year.
Yeah, I feel like this one is the top end of middle of the road for me in terms of final stakes. So but equally I feel like I've got a lot of songs in that area. Now,
Yeah, we have like 20 15th places this year, it seems.
yeah, this is the problem. I am putting a lot of things in prediction at bottom of the left hand side, top of the right hand side areas.
I only think
And
there's like
they can't all
two
be
or
there.
there's still like two or three I would comfortably say can get top 10. And there's got to be 10 of them.
Yeah.
So
So I'm a little bit I think if they really pull something out of the bag with staging, but I think they have to really grab people's attention and passion to make this fully work on the Eurovision stage. And I mean, the spotlight needs to be on him. He is like absolutely a class act. Um, but I think this song, because it's not terribly distinct, it needs to have some stunning staging. And I am just concerned that Norway will not be able to provide that. I mean, can I just also point out that like the 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 Gote opening for the for MGP this year, where is that energy on the actual stage in like Malmö? It's that baffles me. And it's clearly like somebody does have the energy about staging. We didn't see that showcase terribly well at the show, and I think most of the acts in the show were struggling on staging. So I'm just really hoping that there is a really clear vision to bring this to the Eurovision stage and to elevate it because I think it does need that.
yes,
Any final thoughts before we wrap up?
absolutely.
Oh, here we
This is a
go.
this is a message to Julie Agard, Henning Odorod, and Stanley Fernandez. Nassolini, you are entirely exempt from this. I'm sure you're lovely. The song "The Game" is an insult to songwriting as a creative art form because it is a rehashed, reheated, weird Frankenstein child of two other songs they've already submitted to national finals in not even that long ago. It makes me question why they are doing this as a whole, whether it's something they do because they love it or it's just job. And if it's job, fine. But there are so many people doing this because it's that they're calling their creative love, but getting bastardized Queen of Kings X Run to the Hills songs that people on this track wrote and submitting it as to the place where Queen of Kings won like 2 years ago. Like it's still fresh in the memory. It just feels strange to me. It feels like get some new ideas because Queen of Kings was a really good song. Run to the Hills was a really good song. Get some more really good songs rather than try and recreate that one. Nasaline is fine. She can come back with a new song anytime.
Yeah, her performance was actually really good. I did enjoy that. Um, I think for my part, I don't know what happened with this national final this year. I mean, I have a lot of suspicions, but next year you need to come back with more punch, more diversity, more, I
Just
mean,
a ballad
diversity
would
in
be
music.
nice, even a bad one. Just a ballad.
Also, get some of the people from Sami GP in. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Because there is some great stuff happening there, and that is being completely
Or
ignored.
just like if you just draw a line like north of Bordeaux, just get anyone from that specific genre of the Norwegian music market because they are all so good, even not just the Nordnorsk ones. It's such for how few people are up there. It's such a deep and really fun industry to, well, not an industry, a corner of an industry to get involved in.
We,
Like there's
you and I
bangers, there's
are,
army stuff, it's amazing.
you and I are obviously big supporters of Sami GP, but also I think that they should be tapping into that. But also, we talk about with other national finals, send Albania send something only Albania can send.
Yeah.
Lithuania send something only Lithuania can send.
Even something like
Norway,
Moyle, even someone like Moyle Rock, that is something kind
Norway,
of only Norway could send.
you are sending stuff anybody could send. And I genuinely thought after Gotha last year that there would be some sort of like, oh, okay, but going back to safety
They have
in the
sent.
context of the Eurovision Song Contest, if you want to do it as MGP and you want to have a safe little competition, that's fine. But your end goal is the Eurovision Song Contest, a global platform for showcasing your country and your country's music. And I would love to see those kind of things and different kind of music and more diversity in your selection, even if it does not make it to Eurovision, it needs to be profiled.
I really think this year, especially, they should look at Iceland and Vibe and think we should have sent that. Because that sounds like a lot of the music that comes out of Norway. There, that type of stuff is huge in Norway, and they've never sent like a Rusa music song ever. Even though they've sent one of the biggest artists in that genre in Turks, they've never sent that genre, and it's like basically exclusive to Norway, and it's huge there. Why is it like barely even in MGP? It's silly. That's like your thing. Do it more.
Yeah. And also, we would also like to hear songs in Norwegian. Thank you. English is fine, but we would also like to hear stuff in Norwegian. We would like to hear stuff in any of the Sami languages. We would love to hear what makes you special. Not sending the same old stuff is a safe bet. And
Yeah.
Kyle is genuinely so good on stage, and I'm so glad he got it. But I also want to see what Norway has to offer as a country and feel
Because
inspired.
there is I know for someone who isn't even that deep in Norwegian music culture, there's way more to offer than we're seeing in MGP. So much more.
Yeah.
There is I would go as far as there is no reason MGP cannot be the literal best national final.
So we're basically giving you like a C minus this year.
Yeah.
And okay, you made the right choice in the end,
That
but but you could have done better to start with.
will give you a predicted grade of a C, but an aspirational grade of an A. How about that?
Yeah, we want you to do better. Please do better. And
Because we
this
know
is no
you
shade to
can do
Kyle
better.
because, as we've said, Kyle is great, but do better in your selection. We want to see more.
And he likes Percy Pigs.
What a dude, actually. Anyway, shall we wrap it up there? Um,
Yes, we shall.
yes. Thank you very much for watching. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this on the podcast, thank you very much for listening. If you're watching this on YouTube, like and subscribe and tell us we're wrong in the comments because we know we're wrong. Um, Thank you so much. We are That Eurovision Site. You can find us on our website, thateurovisionsite.com. You can find us on our socials at That Eurosite at nearly everywhere, and the podcast version at That Euro Podcast on everything and on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, etc., etc. All that remains for me to say is thank you very much, Daniel.
Yeah.
Daniel who has two thumbs and goes, yeah. And I've been Kittens. Hope you've had having a good day, and I will speak to you all later. Thank you very much, and bye.
Bye.